Are you ready to take your investment game to the next level? Introducing Digital Investor, your ultimate guide to mastering the digital marketplace. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Digital Investor brings you cutting-edge game theoretical strategies, expert insights, and real-time tips and tactics to analyze, evaluate, invest, and grow your wealth. Don't miss out on the digital revolution. Visit www.nickblacknex.com and start your journey with Digital Investor today.
All right. I think we nailed it. Got through all. Well, we got through most of them. We got through almost all of them. Let's see. Hello. All right. Let's see. Today we went with Oh Fudge. That's the name. Oh Fudge. And I went with the regular cream today, not the hazelnut. I don't want to go too crazy. It's Monday. I don't want to get started. I don't want to go balls deep on a Monday. I gotta pace myself. I'll go hazelnut tomorrow. It's really just creamer. I don't even know if there's coffee in there, and I don't think I could taste the coffee anyway. And it doesn't smell particularly fudgy. I don't even know what fudge smells like. Fudge is just chocolate with what? Cake in it or something? What is fudge exactly? Does anybody even know what fudge is? That's the question perhaps no one will ever answer. No one really knows what's in fudge. Even the people that make fudge, they don't know what's in it. They're just not sure. All right. So, kind of like no one knows what's in jolts. So we're going to talk jolts later. That's going to be our mandatory educational part of today, because this is a big data week, so you're gonna hear a lot of stuff. We get jolts. We just got inflation data from Germany, which is way down. I think it came in at 1.8%. Remember in Europe, inflation. No, man, God, dummies. Anyway, so you think they're gonna be cutting or raising rates? Chop chop. It's a race to zero now, friends. A race to zero. So we'll see. Sugar, cocoa, and butter. That sounds like suntan lotion. Or maybe that's how suntan lotion is supposed to smell. Anyway, who knows? Hello. Yeah, if you're in the storms, be careful of those storms. All right. So we'll talk jolts. We will look at markets. We will answer your rando questions. I'm not sure where Brandon is in his path trajectory. I don't know. He could have been eaten by one of those large jungle monsters. They have them. There's lots of them. They're hungry, clearly. So maybe he's back. Maybe he's not. Who knows? Anyway, that's what we got. So why don't we go look at markets and we will frame your basic questions. If you have questions, remember, wait till we get behind the wall for any specific stuff. But why don't we take a quick, non-specific look at markets and start off there, just to change things up a little bit. How would that be? That'd be fun. We like doing fun stuff because it's fun. Oh no, Bitcoin's down. So, any housekeeping? Not really. There's not really any housekeeping because that would be done by Brandon. I will say this. I posted, for those of you who want it, you should read it. The marketing and token launch, the TGE plan from Libra. I just put it in the chat, in the digital investor chat. So for those of you that want to see it, I think the private clients had it end of last week. You guys now have it. I would go through it. So digital investor peoples, and we'll try to get Brandon to put that in somewhere in the back end stuff. But you guys have the whole launch, and these guys have like a full launch strategy, which is cool because I haven't seen a team with an actual launch strategy. Sophiaverse is still in the process of launching with no clear path to a launch. I just saw some post. It was like, hurry up, the final stages of the pre-launch. I'm like, you guys have been pre-launching for 2 flipping years, man. So anyway, they're still pre-launching. But the marketing strategy from Libra looks really good, and they've thought about this, and I think their thinking is get past the election, because if they try to jam it in front of the election, it's probably not going to work. No, it's not in this chat, Beth. You can't click links in this chat, homie. It's on Telegram. So I put it in there. It's long. Like you need to go through it. It's like a thing. It's like a whole thing. Anyway, it's very well thought out, and I like that because it means the team is considering how they launch, and they're considering the realities of the farce that is ASI and the perpetual just nonsense that is Singularity DAO, and the fact that they're going to try to get Twin out of the gate in the last 2 weeks of October, which starts tomorrow. Remember, so we would be on their schedule only a few weeks away, maybe 3 weeks out. And they're not going to launch 2 projects at the same time because they have to turn on their spam generator and spamify the whole spammy, launchpad ecosystem. So while they're spamming their spam on everybody that eats spam, they're not going to launch 2 tokens at the same time. So my guess is this was the best negotiated launch date. Also keeping in mind that, the election is going to be messy. No matter which way it goes, it's going to be messy on both sides of it. I wouldn't want to launch anything a week before or a week to maybe 2 weeks after, just because I basically wouldn't want to launch anything after about the 28th of October, and I wouldn't want to launch anything until about the same time. About the last 2-3 weeks of November would be the soonest I would want to launch something. Because if we get a Kamala win, that's going to be bad. It's going to be bad for a lot of reasons, which my gut says that she's going to win just because Donald Trump shoots himself in the foot a lot, which is going to be horrible for finance. It's going to be net bad, net not positive. But most people are trying to elect a person. They're not electing an agenda or a plan. And I think we should be electing a plan instead of a person. But we'll see. Anyway, my guess is if I had to, if right now, if people put a gun to my head, I would say she wins, and it is not good for crypto or any market for some period of time after the election. But then that will pass. So you get like a week to 10 days of that, and it will pass. Tracy, if you don't do Telegram and you don't do Discord, you have to wait for Brandon. Brandon he'll post it. He'll put it in there. But I think he's still in transit. Anyway, exactly. Policy, not person. I guess that's what I was trying to get at. And I just don't think that we do that. We tend to vote for personalities. I was not a fan of Trump the first go round, but you know what? A bad Trump is better than the best Hillary on the best day. And it's not a guy and a girl thing. It's that Hillary's awful, like an awful, like murdery bitch. And you know, man, anyway, not to get into all that, there's a lot of bodies around that Clinton family, like dead bodies. So that's not Kamala, which is cool. And she seems nice, like a nice person. But for those of you that lived in California, you realize that her entire time in politics here was a complete effing zero. She did nothing. Nothing she put forward got voted in. Not one. She made no change. She cost people a lot of money, but she did nothing. So it's not going to surprise me if she does nothing again. And if she does nothing again, and Bidenomics continues, then the Elizabeth Warrens of the world continue their bull crud, and the Gary Genslers of the world probably don't get fired, and the Jerome Powells of the world probably don't get forced out, and it's more of the same for 4 more years. So there we go. Well, it will be more of the same, Chris. I think it's more of the same, and we live in a not crypto friendly, we live in a not technology friendly U.S. and they pushed a lot of companies offshore, and that will continue. And her little platitudes about crypto, I think she said the word blockchain one time and probably mispronounced it. It's all crap. She cares not about anything tech. She just doesn't have any. There's no plan. She has nothing. She's just a vacant shell. So it is what it is. All right. So that would probably be a Debbie Downer right after the election. However, there's probably going to be some good buying opportunities there. Now, on the other side of it, if Trump wins, the market probably goes up. You probably start taking out all-time highs, especially in the crypto space. You probably see $80,000 Bitcoin within a day. But I mean, again, right now terms, we're at 63.7. We've sold off a little bit from yesterday, whatever. But it would be interesting to see how quickly he nukes Gary Gensler, because listen, either of these two things can push Bitcoin and again, lift the entire market. If Gary Gensler gets fired, and if Kamala is smart, she and her team fire Gary Gensler before the election, and she sprinkles a couple of pro-technology statements out there, then all of the people that were firmly on the Trump side would have to go, well, is she coming around? You know, Mark Cuban saying he wants the job as the head of the SEC. Mark Cuban doesn't know dick about nothing. Mark Cuban he's an empty shell too. And that guy's been so wrong. I mean, he's been Kramer level wrong. So this was a guy who just a few years ago, matter of fact, I listened to the interview. It was in 2021 or 2022. You can look it up. There's an interview where he said, I'd rather have bananas than Bitcoin because I can eat my bananas. This is the Mark Cuban that's the Johnny come lately that's now pro crypto and all this, because whatever, I don't know, he wasn't getting enough, people weren't asking for his autograph on Shark Tank, I guess. His record on Shark Tank, losers. Everything he touches, losers. The dude can't build a business. Yep, he's an idiot. Now, to be fair, he's a super nice guy. He's a philanthropist. He's like a really cool dude, but he's just a dude, man. He's a dude from Dallas that got lucky twice on a crap company. And the dumbest company on earth bought it, sold it, bought it. So, you know, his whole thing with broadcast. If you want to read somebody getting lucky, go read about Mark Cuban's, ascension. It's madness. I know someone who used to work for him. He's like, we were just twiddling our thumbs, and then they just gave us stupid money. So, yeah. But would he, as dumb as he is, because if you put him, remember, Gary Gensler, was a professor at MIT. Mark Cuban, he can't tell you about table salt. So I just don't know if someone being pro crypto, that's not enough. Like, you need someone with some level of sophistication. That is not Mark Cuban. So Mr. Wonderful. Yeah, Mr. Wonderful is a pile of garbage too. That guy's a real douchebag. That was Mr. Wonderful was the one who was completely bought in, hook, line, and sinker, sold, drank the Kool-Aid of FTX. And even once the indictments came down, he's like, no, I'm not turning my back on Sam. What a jackass. I mean, it's not even a mountain of evidence, dude. It goes down. It fills the Marianas Trench, stupid. Yeah, he's a scumbag, man. He's just a douchebag. Anyway, let me not spend all day just bashing Shark Tank people. We don't have that much time. But so Kamala pre-fires Gary Gensler. That makes a bunch of people say, oh, well, maybe she is pro, whatever, enough to win the election. That would be a good strategic move for them. That would be a pretty clever move. I don't know if they're that clever, but that'd be a clever move. That would take some of the firepower away from Trump, and that would probably almost guarantee her win. All of these crypto guys that are jumping on her side, they don't give a crap about Kamala. They don't even like her. They just think she's going to win, and they're trying to pony up to her. Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Grand Larceny, douchebag, scummy little snitchy douchebags. They just think she's going to win, so they're trying to get close to her now. Anyway, we'll see. So I don't want to be sitting without some extra cash during that election, because I think it's going to be chaotic. And I also think the week leading up to it, bam, 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 there's going to be a lot of trading opportunities. So that will inform what we'll probably talk about behind the wall as far as some of my closing in on the election trading and investment strategy. Now I'm making investments with a trading mindset. Does that make sense? With a trading mindset. Well, I'll tell you, my final thing on Trump is, the thing I like best about Trump is that it comes with Elon Musk sitting down with every single government organization and all of their leadership and saying, hey, buddy, can you tell me what you do and why you should be employed? And if he doesn't get a good answer, you're fired. It's going to be awesome, dude. It's going to be ridiculous. Anyway, we'll see. He gets my vote just for that, for the Elon Gestapo. All right. We're going to talk about jolts, and then we'll go deeper into some actual decisions you can start making right now in this marketplace. I think there are some things you can do. So we'll look at that. And yes, remember, just in crypto in general, illiquid assets on illiquid exchanges traded by sketchy, many times criminal, dubious, duplicitous, dirtbag, sketchy ass individuals. That's crypto. That's a bumper sticker right there. You can have that one, Joseph, if you want to make those bumper stickers. That entire sentence, word for word, as a bumper sticker. Okay. No, like getting rid of government waste. You guys paint with an unnecessarily wide brush. I see this a lot when people get angry or when they don't like somebody, they start painting with a really wide brush. Narrow it down, baby. Narrow it down. If the Department of Education is a bunch of people sucking in cash and they're not putting out anything that, actually helps Americans get educated, then they don't deserve to exist. It's like, I have a buddy of mine who he runs a big company now, but he was a consultant for that company, and he went in to do something like this, to go in and fire people, and he found a guy that was kind of getting in the way of deals on the dock, and so with dock workers, and this guy was causing a lot of trouble, and he's like, he goes down there and he's like, he talks to the Teamsters, and they negotiate something. He's like, cool. He's like, okay, cool. Normally, this would be your job, guy. He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, if you can't do it and I have to come down here and do it, that means one of us is redundant and I'm not firing myself. Sometimes someone gets a case of Act Right or drinks a can of Man. Either way. Yes. There's all sorts of things that could be great. Yes. There is unfortunately a lot of people with jobs right now. That's like a whole other thing. There's a lot of people with jobs that shouldn't be employed. They are useless, redundant cogs. And they should go away. That's just the creative destruction. They should go away. Anyway, that's all. That's a whole other thing. But we got a lot of economic data coming this week. JOLTS is one of the big ones. Job opening, labor turnover survey. We're going to talk about that because remember, when we're Jerome Powell is he's such a lying piece of garbage. I like him. I kind of like him. I bet he'd be cool to talk to and kind of hang out with, but he lies through his teeth. He's out there telling people, I don't see a recession in the data. Just okay. All right. Whatever, buddy. So there we go. Someone could be standing in lava and not see the lava, I guess. All right. So let's get behind the wall. And in getting behind the wall, once we get behind the wall, let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's talk about some trades, some investments, some money things that we can't talk about in front of the wall. For those of you that don't want to join us, I wish you the best. I bid you a fond adieu. For those of you that are going to join us, good. Pays to be a winner.
Going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.